Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm an illustrator and designer. Welcome to the studio vlog. Today is March 31st, 2020. I was planning on having this as an April studio vlog, but I had something really exciting arrive today, so we're going to open that now. So I currently work mostly digital, but I've been having a few issues with my Surface Pro 4, which is what I use for all of my design work. It's just getting a little old and worse for wear. So I ordered iPad Pro. And here we have the Apple Pencil. This is super exciting. Oh, it's also lovely. Here we go. Cool. Hey, good morning. Today is Thursday, 2nd of April. I am going to be doing some work today and I thought I'd take you guys along. Ugh. I thought I'd pick up the camera today because I'm going to be doing my first proper drawing on the new iPad Pro, which I'm really excited about. I spent the last couple of days working on my old Surface Pro 4 just because I've been having some technical difficulties. I haven't been able to get a lot of my newer work to upload to the cloud. I think because the internet is so slow here. So everything that I've been working on recently, which is obviously the stuff that I want to be working on now, is stuck on my old laptop and not appearing on the new iPad yet. I have a little bit of client work to do, so let's get started with that. So believe it or not, I've had this for a couple of days now. This is actually my first time drawing on the iPad Pro. I've done a quick little sketch of a future design, but I haven't painted or done actual proper details and things like that. So I thought this would be a really nice opportunity to do a real-time reaction of my thoughts on the iPad Pro and also the Apple Pencil, which is very popular. I'm going to get started on a portrait commission. This will be my first one, so I don't know exactly what style I'm going to be doing yet. We'll see how it goes. And just created a document. I have a reference photo above that I'm going to keep hidden just for her privacy. My favourite brush is the Pastel Square. It's one of the standard brushes. I do have a whole bunch of Kyle's brushes, which are free with Photoshop. You just have to download them. But to be honest, I don't use that many of them. All of my favorite brushes are these 4 here. Let's see how it feels. Alright, that was too light. Cool. My first thoughts is it's noisy. It definitely does feel like I'm tapping plastic onto glass. You can kind of hear it. It has a bit of a clink to it and it feels very firm. This is something that I didn't have on my old Surface Pro 4. The nib has a soft tip on the end of it. So I find it really nice to draw with. I don't think this is bad, but it is definitely going to take some getting used to. Yeah, not bad, just different. I have actually ordered a paper-like screen protector, so I'm looking forward to that arriving. With the current state of the world, things are delayed, so I'm not expecting that to arrive for a few weeks. This is the same app that I used on my Microsoft Surface Pro 4. So I'm quite used to the app and how it works. It's just a matter of getting used to the screen itself and the pencil. I believe there's a button that switches to erase. No, it brings up the color. Okay, that's interesting. I can probably customize that. I've never gone in here before. Double tap shows the color picker. Switch to last brush, switch to eraser, zoom to fit. I'm going to say switch to eraser. And yeah, I just turned this on my old laptop, but I haven't actually used it yet. This is a feature that's in Procreate already, but Fresco is still kind of catching up with a lot of their features. Let's see how that holds us straight. goes. Ooh, beautiful. Great, I love that. Okay, so going back to there, the double tap switches to erase. It's a nice feature. I don't actually use the erase tool ever. We have this little fella here, and if you hold, it allows you to erase with whatever brush setting you have. So that's what I usually use. Let's go back to okay, so just drawing, things feel pretty good. I'm curious to see what it will be like once I get into some painting. So I'm just going to do some really basic things here and see how it goes. Like I said before, I'm not quite used to the pressure sensitivity yet, so sometimes when I'm tapping I'm too light and other times I'm not, which will again just take some getting used to. Feels pretty good. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm obviously not doing the actual drawing, but I'll just have a little play. I want to see how different it feels to the other brushes. Add a little blush. Yeah, I'm just not used to that sensitivity point yet. I feel like I'll very gradually go from light to heavy, and it just kind of turns on. There's no gradation there, it's just on or off, which will take a little getting used to. That's okay. Let's try a few other brushes. Alright, I'm not sure how big this is. Let's see. It's big, covers the whole thing. I like to use this for adding really subtle, soft textures. You see, it hasn't even really shown up yet. Oh, there we go. So for this particular brush, it's quite important to me that that really, really soft touch shows up. This is why I wanted to play with it and see if I can get that really soft gradation. Alright, I can see that there. Let's just jump over here to show you the difference. It needs to... So yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to hard and soft. So it does feel kind of jumpy, but it definitely doesn't feel bad. Already I'm kind of used to the feel of the screen, which with the pencil against glass, it's quite sharp. I don't know, I can't think of a word to describe it. It's, yeah, not what I'm used to at all, but not bad. The feedback is really good. The lag is non-existent. It's super, super fast, which is nice. I think even if I was to put this into like super speed and really slow it down, I I could hardly show you how far behind it is. It does really feel like I'm getting, oh, I switched to a razor. I'm gonna have to turn that off. There really isn't much lag at all. It was significant on my old Surface Pro 4, I think just because of age, but also I feel like the iPad being its own system, a lot of apps are customized and designed especially for it. You know, that's kind of the big selling point for Procreate, is that the Procreate app was designed for the iPad and it doesn't do a bunch of things that Photoshop and etc. do on a laptop, but it doesn't have any of that kind of extra stuff. It only has what it needs, and that allows for really good speeds and responsiveness, which is great. The feel of the nib on the glass is strange. When you're pressing hard, I almost feel like I'm going over ripples on the screen. Oh, I don't know how to describe it. It feels like the screen isn't flat and that it's like catching in some areas and not. That could be fingerprints, I don't know. It's very strange. I'm going to say that 100 times. I know it's not bad, it's just going to take some getting used to. I am really curious to see what it will be like. That's not what I want. What it will be like with the screen protector on there that I've ordered. Okay, I'm going to have to change that setting. I keep accidentally turning this to a razor. I'm going to say no action for now, just because I'm not used to it and I don't want to be doing the wrong thing all the time. That's really nice. Yeah, that responsiveness is great. You can really see the thick and thin now that I'm using a brush that's kind of suited to it. I know I'm using a really strange colour, but the colours are really lovely in this on the iPad. That lovely bright red, orange. I love this blue colour. Oh, that looks so nice. I'm layering, but that's really lovely. So vibrant. Cool, this has been fun. I am going to stop what I'm doing right now. I'm going to get my sketch down without the camera watching me, just because it makes me really uncomfortable. And then I'll come back when I'm painting so you guys can see it again. Okay, it's been a little while. I've got my sketch down. I think it's super cute. I'm really happy with it. Drawing has been really fun with the iPad and the Apple Pencil. I haven't had any issues. I have learnt just from doing the work that the responsiveness issue which I was having before, where I was trying to draw things and it was too faint at the very beginning when I was just lightly touching the screen, I've worked out that that only happens when I'm drawing with certain brushes. So the particular brush which I really like doesn't have that super fine line to it. It only has a slightly thicker one, which is why I was noticing that. But then there's some other brushes where you can do super fine lines, no issue. And then also when you use other tools like the, I can't think of the name of this right now. What's it called? Selection tool? Yeah, when you use the selection tool, you can be as light as you want. I'm hardly touching the screen right now and it works fine. So that issue that I had is purely to do with the brushes that I'm using, which is good to know. Yeah, it's been really fun to draw with. I think this sketch is super cute. I'm really excited to go in and lay some colour on. So I'm just going to change the opacity and bring that up here. I'm most likely going to be keeping the line work. We'll see how this one ends up, but just so that I can get all the way to the edges, I like to set it to multiply and place it above with a lower opacity just so I can see where all that line work is. Maybe I'll keep the line work. I think the line work's really cute. Yeah, I'm going to keep the line work. So I'm going to pop that back to normal. That's the wrong one. I'm going to keep that up there because I really like how it looks. I just stole a couple of colours from the photo there, like their skin tones and their hair. So I'm going to pop that in now. The responsiveness when colouring is really nice. This is my first time trying to actually fill a shape rather than just doing line work. Yeah, it's really nice. I've definitely, as we've been going, I've gotten used to the kind of glass, the stiff glass feel. Oh, that sound is terrible. I've gotten used to the kind of stiff glass clunky feel that I was talking about. Yeah, that's just something that took a little getting used to. I feel like I'm pretty much used to it now. My only thing, and this is so minor, but I usually work in silence. I can listen to things, but I don't know, I just usually work in silence. And when there's no sound and the room's really quiet, I can hear every single time the screen, every time the pencil touches the screen, there's this tap, which, and like I can hear myself shading right now. Like I can hear the scratch against the screen. This is such a minor issue and I know I'm going to get used to it, but it's just a little, you know, like, kind of sounds like fingernails on a chalkboard. When I'm colouring, I like to put everything on its own layer, and that makes things a lot easier later on. I'm a big user of masks, so to be able to separate everything out into its own space and then use a mask or like select that area really fast is quite important to me and my workflow. It's really nice colouring in a large space, something that I am not quite used to on my Surface 4. It was coming to the end of its days, that's why I ended up getting the iPad. It's still fine for like editing and using like the larger apps like Illustrator and Photoshop, but for some reason it just couldn't quite handle Fresco and I had lots of issues with lag and the touchscreen sensitivity just isn't what it used to be. So having something so responsive is really nice, but a one of the issues that I had on my Surface Pro 4 is about half of the screen was just not working properly. So if I was drawing a line from here to here, I get to about here and it would jump all over the page. So I ended up getting really used to only really drawing on half of the screen. So even though this screen isn't too much larger than what I'm used to, being able to actually use the whole screen, I feel very, very spoiled. It's considerably noticeable jumping up from using a space this large to using one this large. It's really nice. Another thing that I noticed, this little button here, I don't know what it's called, but it's not having an issue. It's an issue which I faced on the Surface Pro 4 as well. So it's more that it hasn't been resolved by moving to the iPad. Then there's actually like a new issue or anything like that. But anyways, what I'm trying to get to is if I try to use it and the palm of my right hand is on the screen, it has trouble selecting it, and it either won't select it or it will flick off really fast, meaning that it just like takes a second longer for me to use that tool, which is fine. It just kind of disrupts the workflow a bit. I think it's to do with palm sensitivity, so to resolve that I could potentially get one of these little drawing gloves that I've seen online. I think that would help with the issue. But I'm starting to kind of learn that if I want to use the tool, I just remove my palm for a second and then it's fine. So yeah, that will just be something like a kind of mannerism that I'll have to teach myself and get used to, which is a-okay. I have to go, so this is all I'm going to be doing right now. I'm probably going to finish this off later tonight in bed, meaning I won't have the light, so I won't be able to record it, but I will put up the little finished piece once it's done. Or if I'm working on it tomorrow, I might record then. But my overall impression with the iPad is it's awesome. I'm really happy with it. It's so smooth, there's no lag whatsoever, there's so much space, the pencil's super responsive. Yeah, and it's definitely a huge step up from my Surface Pro 4. Poor baby. She was just a little worse for wear. She still has many great uses, but this, for my drawing itself, is a big step up, so I'm really happy with that. Yeah, stay tuned for more vlog, guys. Hey, this is future Sarah. It is currently like 3 weeks later and I've been editing this vlog and it's so long. I was planning on it being a whole month, but it's 30 minutes long and it's literally like the 2nd of April. So I'm going to be cutting it short here. I'm also going to be making my future studio vlogs not monthly vlogs because apparently I just record way too much footage and there's just no way in hell that that's going to happen. So I'm probably going to be doing fortnightly vlogs, but we'll see what happens with the remainder of the footage. For now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me draw on the iPad Pro for the first time. I'm really enjoying it. It's 3 weeks later, I'm definitely used to it now. It's got a couple of little quirks and things which I'll probably talk about in the future. I've noticed a couple of glitches and I don't know if it's an iPad thing or if it's an Adobe Fresco thing, but I'll work it out eventually and I'll take you guys along for that journey. But for now, stay tuned for more videos. Make sure that you like, subscribe and hit the bell. There's going to be plenty more coming out soon. See you guys. Bye.